Hell is found in the depths of any celestial mass and in the mysterious dimensions that lie beyond the three-dimensional reality of Euclid. Within any planetary mass is the majestic submerged mineral kingdom that keeps its secrets in its deep atomic abysses. In every corner of the universe, innumerable hells are manifested in each galaxy, although not all planetary hells harbor life. It is worth knowing that our central sun of our solar system, Sun Ors, the infernal worlds of the Astro King are completely uninhabited, clean. It is a divine solar spirit. Hello, welcome to your channel, Dominate the World, where we explore deep and enlightening topics that impact our lives. Today, I invite you to immerse yourself in an intriguing topic. What is hell like? The truth about hell. In this video, we are going to explore the 9 circles, where Florentine Dante wrote in his Divine Comedy and the Venerable Master Samael Weor verified it in an astral journey. I invite you to leave a comment. I already subscribed to reach more people. Let's get started. In order to understand what position hell holds in creation, we are going to begin by describing the 7 orders of worlds. Remember, 7 harmonizes creation. Protocosm 1 law, Aeocosm 3 laws, Macrocosm 6 laws, Deuterocosm 12 laws, Mesocosm 24 laws, Microcosm 48 laws, Tritocosm 96 laws. There is a first order of infinitely divine, ineffable worlds. No mechanical principle exists in it. It is governed by a single law, love. The second order is controlled by the 3 primary forces that regulate and direct all cosmic creation. The third order of worlds, our galaxy, any galaxy of sacred space, is controlled by 6 laws. The fourth order of worlds, our solar system of infinite space, is controlled by 12 laws. The fifth order, our Earth or any planet similar to ours, revolving around of any sun, has been controlled by 24 laws. The sixth cosmic order, any human individual, has been controlled by 48 laws and is verified by the 48 chromosomes. The seventh order of worlds is under the total control of 96 laws. When you go down to hell, the laws are being duplicated. The first circle of the infernal worlds has been vividly represented by all the caverns of the world. United astrally, they become completing the first circle. Sincere wrongs in the first sublunary region under the epidermis of this planet on which we live. The dead live cold and sepulchral. There are so many millions of disembodied people descending with their consciousness asleep in the region of the dead. They come and go and occupy themselves with the same activities of life that they passed through. They dream of the memories of yesterday, in limbo, in the anteroom of hell. They spend some time there before rejoining Euclid's 3-dimensional region again. It is essential and urgent to transmute the pure waters of life into the wine of the alchemist's light. Only in this way is it possible to achieve the intimate self-realization of the being. In the Orc of the Classics, in limbo, we find many enlightened men who died without having received the waters of baptism, sincerely mistaken, full of magnificent intentions, but mistaken. People who believed liberation without the need for sexual magic. Seen internally there, we find the first counterpart of our current cities, streets, villages, counties, and regions. In no way that the deceased wander and visit the houses where they lived, places they knew. Second submerged Dantec infernal circle of Mercury, we are going to verify that each Dantec circle is ruled by a planet of the solar system. For example, in this second submerged circle of Mercury, Mercury refers to the Inseminis. For example, Mars refers to the anger, war, etc., etc., etc. With an astral body, you can verify for yourself directly. In that region, live passionaries immersed in nature, fallen angels, those who wasted sexual energy, fornicators. Let us remember that in the first circle there are 96 laws. In this second circle there are already 192 laws, 96 laws multiplied by 2. This circle becomes denser. Dantesque third submerged circle of Venus. 288 atoms of the heaviest absolute, orgies, great feasts, black waters, rot. There the goddess Lesbos and her lesbians, there the poetess of Sappho, who would sing to all the degenerates of her time. There the Nero's lyre turned into pieces, gluttons and drunks. We have been told emphatically that the original sin is fornication, and this is the foundation of the involuting waves of the infernal worlds. In each of the 9 circles or infradimensional regions of nature, highlight certain defects that we carry inside. 4th infernal circle or submerged sphere of the sun, 384 atoms of the absolute, 2 types of people that devolve into the spendthrifts and the misers, 2 classes of subjects that cannot be reconciled with each other ever. Since deep down we must know that waste is as absurd as greed, we must always remain faithful to the balance. The extremes lose. The violation of the law of balance brings painful karmic consequences. In the 5th circle, submerged sphere of Mars, 480 atoms of the absolute. Consciousness looks at itself from different angles according to each of its selves. It is a Martian-type vibration. Ironic, furious people, haughty and proud arrogant people. Dante Alighieri, the old Florentine disciple of Virgil, poet of Mantua, only sees among the murky waters and the filthy mud many arrogant people who here on the face of the earth shone solemnly in the palaces and the lavish mansions. A certain creature tried to hide from the sinister gaze of certain horrifying monsters, which in the very depths of its psyche were egos, personifying violence, parts of themselves, the ego fleeing from the ego. The creature and its attackers were part of the same ego, the pluralized self, fleeing from themselves, the self facing the self. 6th submerged sphere or Jupiter, submerged under the planet Earth, is much denser than the others. Each atom of the 6th Dantesque circle carries in its belly 576 atoms of the sacred absolute sun. Undoubtedly, the extremely heavy type of atoms is the causa causorum of a tremendous materiality. The people who live submerged in this infernal region are obviously controlled by 576 laws, which makes their existence somewhat complicated and difficult. Time becomes frighteningly slow in this region. Every minute seems like centuries, and therefore life becomes tedious and unbearable. On the intellective level, it is not so much time as on the deepest subconscious levels. It is clear in full happiness. 12 hours seem like a minute. It is obvious that an instant of supreme pain seems like centuries. Let us now think about the abyss, the cursed city of the dangerous Tartarus. There the lost feel that every minute seem like centuries of abominable bitterness. Abode of the materialistic enemies of the eternal blasphemers dwell there, also the heretics who cultivate the dogma of separativity. They find all those hierarchs who they abused their power. The 7th circle of Dantesque or Saturn, those who are violent against nature live there, violent against art, fraudulent, violent against God. In Dante's Divine Comedy, we will find such a region converted into an ocean of blood and fire. This point of view is completely allegorical or symbolic. What is meant is the concrete and definitive fact that in said region a certain reddish color remains that characterizes violent animal passion. When we talk about colors, we need to know that above the solar spectrum in the higher dimensions of nature and the cosmos, all the light shines, ultraviolet gamma, and below the solar spectrum, the infrared gamma fatally shines. The latter is characteristic of the infradimensions of nature under the geological crust of our world. There are people who took possession of a body against its will. They sin. Against nature are people who violate their creative organs, forcing themselves to perform copulation, or masturbators. There is violence against nature, castration, if someone enzymes animals. When we adulterate vegetables or fruits with the grafts they have invented, let us remember that in this 7th sphere there are 672 atoms of the absolute. 8th, Dantesque, or Uranus circle, submerged under the Earth's crust, in the infradimensions of nature, we find the coin counterfeiters, the infested, the sowers of discord, the bad counselors, those who promise and do not keep, those who they make scandals, etc., etc., etc. This 8th region is the antithesis of the opposite, the negative aspect of Uranus. Very interesting is that planet of our solar system. We have been told that the north and south poles of Uranus point alternately towards the sun. When the positive pole of that planet is oriented towards the king star, the masculine force is imposed on the face of the earth. When the negative pole of that world is oriented towards the resplendent sun, then the feminine force rules in our afflicted world. Each cycle or period of Uranus is 42 years. Fornication, lubricity, exist in each of the 9 natural infradimensions within the Earth's crust of our world. Undoubtedly, here Florentine Dante sees in the 8th circle millions of human beings turned into pieces, bleeding, wounding themselves with their nails and with their teeth, decapitated, etc., etc., etc. Lust is the root of the ego. In the 8th sphere, the Coatlicue serpent, Proserpina, the tempting serpent of Eden, comes to give itself its terrifying banquet, begins the destruction of all ego. 768 laws control the entire 8th abyssal circle, 9th circle of Dantesque or Neptune. Upon reaching this part, Dante, in his Divine Comedy, unusually cites the spear of Achilles. We have been told that such a spear, if at first it hurt or caused damage or bitterness, later turned out to be a true blessing. This it clearly reminds us of the spear of Longinus, with which the Roman centurion wounded the Lord's side, this same spear wielded by Parsifal, the wonderful hero of the Wagnerian drama, came to heal the side of Alfortas. Such a spear is of a phallic type, which can wisely be used to disintegrate the pluralized self. It is worth remembering that the holy pike is the very emblem of the phallus, where the principle of all life lies, the transcendent sexual electricity with which we can disintegrate, reduce to cosmic dust. The pluralized ego. In this talk, the Holy Grail is cited. That divine cup, or miraculous chalice, which the great Kabir Jesus drank at the Last Supper, it is clear that such a jewel is the living symbol of the divine womb of the eternal feminine. In the 9th sphere, the involuting creatures definitively disintegrate. In the 9th circle, multiplying the 96 by 9, they will give us 864 laws. If you reflect deeply on the first cosmos, you will see that there exists the most complete freedom, the most absolute happiness. The greater the number of laws, the greater the degree of mechanicity and pain. The lesser the number of laws, the lower the degree of mechanicity and pain. In summary, the 9 Dantean circles are a powerful reminder of the consequences of our actions, of our psychic aggregates that personify our psychological defects, a bundle of errors, passions, hatred, fears, revenge, jealousy, anger, lust, resentments, attachments, greed, etc., etc., etc. Within such negative values, our soul essence is trapped. The video teaches us that through repentance and reflection, we can seek redemption, but very, very important, the Venerable teacher Samael even emphasizes the transmutation of sexual energy. In this way, the expansion of consciousness is possible. As a scrutinizing instrument of the universe and the cosmos, it is possible to unravel the ultimate truths and roots of any visible or invisible phenomenon. Thanks for subscribing.